Let's imagine a future where homes are built like iPhones, precision engineered, environmentally friendly, beautifully minimal, and smarter than anything we've seen before. A future where your house is designed by software, assembled like a Tesla, and delivered to your backyard like a high-end package. That future exists, and it's called Cover. Cover is not your average tiny home builder. It's a design and technology company that's redefining what it means to live small and live smart. While most tiny homes are built like a cabin or an RV, Cover's approach feels more like if Apple and Tesla teamed up to redesign housing from the ground up. And the result is something both stunning and revolutionary. But before we dive into what makes a Cover tiny home unlike anything else on the market, let's rewind a bit and talk about the movement that got us here. The tiny house revolution. Tiny homes didn't start as a trend. They started as a reaction. In the late 1990s, Jay Schaefer, often considered the godfather of the movement, built a tiny house on wheels that was under 100 square feet. His work with the Tumbleweed Tiny House Company helped to inspire a generation of minimalists, DIYers, and housing advocates. What was once an oddball lifestyle choice became a legitimate cultural shift. By the mid-2000s, tiny homes were popping up on blogs, social media, and YouTube channels. They were cheaper, more sustainable, and offered a path to homeownership outside the traditional mortgage system. People were downsizing not because they had to, but because they wanted to. The 2008 financial crisis added fuel to the fire. Suddenly, the appeal of owning less and living within one's means wasn't just trendy, it was smart. Entire TV shows were devoted to the idea. Tiny houses weren't just for nomads or off-grid adventurers anymore. They became part of the broader conversation around housing affordability, climate change, and freedom. But for all the appeal of tiny homes, most of them still shared one thing in common. They were compromises. A lot of them looked cool on Instagram, but lived like a glorified shed. Poor insulation, bad wiring, sketchy plumbing. If you wanted something that actually felt like a permanent residence, you often had to settle for something bland and boxy, or pay a small fortune for a high-end custom build. That's where Cover enters the story. Founded in Los Angeles, Cover takes everything wrong with conventional home construction and flips it. Instead of building homes like they've been built for hundreds of years, Cover treats construction like product design. Everything starts with software. Their proprietary algorithm-based design platform lets them tailor a home to your specific property, lifestyle, and budget. Not in months, in days. Once the design is finalized, the real magic begins. Cover doesn't send a bunch of subcontractors to your backyard with lumber and nails. Instead, they fabricate the home in a precision-controlled factory. Every panel, every joint, every window is made with aerospace-level accuracy. The materials are industrial-grade, structural steel frames, fire-resistant cladding, floor-to-ceiling low-E glass, integrated bug screens, and premium fixtures throughout. This is not your cousin's DIY container home. It's more like a Swiss watch you can live in. And here's where the Tesla comparison really kicks in. Just as Tesla reinvented the car by controlling the entire process from software to hardware to manufacturing, Cover is reinventing the home by doing exactly the same. They design, engineer, permit, manufacture, and install every unit. There's no handoff between 12 different contractors, no guessing games, no delays from rain or scheduling mix-ups. The whole process is streamlined from start to finish. And it's fast. Once permits are approved, which Cover also handles, the home can be manufactured and installed in just a few weeks. This is unheard of in traditional construction, where even a small addition can take 6 to 9 months. Cover compresses what used to be a chaotic, fragmented process into something almost frictionless. But all of this wouldn't matter if the homes themselves didn't live beautifully. And they do. Walking into a cover home is like stepping into the future. Natural light floods the space through floor-to-ceiling windows. The temperature remains consistent thanks to integrated insulation and high-performance materials. Every detail, from the built-in cabinetry to the seamless bathroom tiles, feels intentional and timeless. These aren't homes built to look good in photos. They're designed to be lived in, comfortably, efficiently, sustainably. Now, let's talk about cost, because that's always the question with next-gen products. Covers homes aren't cheap, but they're not outlandishly expensive either. Depending on the size and complexity, units can range from $300 to $400 per square foot, including permitting, site prep, and full turnkey delivery. For a 400 square foot unit, you're looking at somewhere around $120,000 to $160,000 all in. That's more than a shed from Home Depot, but it's also significantly less than what you'd pay for a conventional home addition in Los Angeles or a high-end ADU built by traditional methods. And remember, you're not just paying for space, you're paying for design, precision, and long-term durability. You're paying for peace of mind. And the homes themselves are built to last. The steel frame won't walk or rot. The exterior cladding is fire-resistant and low-maintenance. The roofing is designed for decades of exposure. The entire structure exceeds California's seismic requirements and comes with a lifetime structural warranty. You don't have to be a prepper to appreciate the value in that. Let's go one step further. Imagine Tesla designed a tiny home. What would it look like? It would be minimalist. It would be modular. It would be made of metal and glass. It would be insanely efficient. It would be assembled with robotic precision. It would include solar integration, smart temperature controls, energy-efficient lighting, and everything would just work. Now, go look at Cover's tiny home again. Sound familiar? Cover's design language feels like it was inspired by the same design principles that drive companies like Tesla and Apple. The elegance of simplicity, the pursuit of perfection, the obsession with detail. It's a house you don't want to clutter because it already feels complete. But Cover isn't just building for aesthetics. They're building for a new reality. Housing shortages, urban density, aging parents, remote work, climate change. These are the challenges Cover is designed to meet head-on. Want a rental unit in your backyard? Done. Need a home office separate from the main house? Covered. Want a full-time residence for a downsized lifestyle? It's all possible. The flexibility is what's so exciting. A cover home can be a granny flat, a guest house, a music studio, a rental unit, or your primary residence. And because they handle everything, from zoning checks to permit drawings to installation, you don't have to be a developer to pull it off. You just have to want a better way to build. This also raises a big question. Is this the future of housing? It might be. Imagine a world where homes are made in factories, not fields. Where software generates custom floor plans based on your lot and your life. Where every home is optimized for sunlight, privacy, airflow, and comfort. Where you can click order on a home like you would a laptop. That's the world Cover is helping to create. So whether you're an urban homeowner looking to add value to your property, a minimalist dreaming of a low-footprint lifestyle, or just someone who believes that the built world should be better, Cover offers a glimpse into what's possible. This isn't just a tiny home. It's a system, a platform, a vision of what housing can become when we stop accepting the status quo and start building like the future is already here. If you've ever dreamed of a house that's smarter, faster, and better, this might be the blueprint you've been waiting for. And honestly, if Tesla built a tiny home, this is exactly what it would look like.